Greetings, greetings, good morning, good evening, grand rising, good afternoon, depending on what time of the day it is for you. I want to welcome everyone this morning to my broadcast. Welcome, welcome. Kindly share the live. Tap the screen and share the live. Yes, happy Black History Month to each and every one of you. I am Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson. I am your why and soul purpose coach, consultant, and mentor. I am also a spiritual healer. If you are new to my community, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Connect with me on Facebook. Connect with me on Instagram. Connect with me on Twitter. Sign up to receive my newsletter on my website. And I'm also going to invite you to connect with me on Patreon. I will give you that information uh, early next week or tomorrow. Now, a bit more housekeeping. I am using a new platform called Booksby to book my appointments. And when you click on my link tree link in my bio, you will see that information. Unfortunately, this morning when I woke up to check my appointments for the day, I realized that the Booksky server is down. So in the meantime, those of you wanting an appointment, kindly go ahead and text me at 203 885 5093, 203 885 5093. And when you do that, I will send you the information. I already messaged my webmaster to take care of that. However, he's in a different time zone, so I know when he gets awake, he will see my message and he will adjust whatever is going on with the server. All right. So again, welcome everyone. You saw the topic. Hopefully you saw the topic. It's never too late to answer your call. Thank you for following the host. Those of you who are new to my platform, you're probably not familiar with me, what I do, and how I came about to be doing what I do and all of that. So I made the decision this morning that I was going to peel back the curtain on my journey and path that it took me to get here. So, those of you who probably don't know, I was born and raised in Jamaica, West Indies. I came from humble background. My parents were farmers. So I grew up And what I am now realizing, that it was an organic lifestyle. I did not know that. But as you become more astute and become more informed and become more knowledgeable in life, you learn things and you're able to put labels to things that you did not know the labels of before. So, with that being said, I grew up with the best when it comes to nutritional values. We weren't wealthy by any means, but one thing that I grew up with, we weren't wealthy financially, but when it came around to values and morals, we were a multi-millionaire because my parents instilled in me to love, respect, and honor each human being. I grew up in the church. My mother and I were Christians. My father only went to church at harvest. There's a big time when all the farmers and they bring all the things out. And harvest was the only time that my father went to church. Don't ask me why, because we never discuss it. Mama and I went, and he just never went. So, I'm sharing this story, and I'm sharing my life journey and path with my community this morning because there are some folks who are confused and don't understand about the work that I'm called to do. There are some that is judging me, some that is bullying me, and all of that. So I am taking this opportunity to peel the curtain back. And just to clear one point up before I go any further, those of you that's messaging me and even saying it in my live that I do not believe in God, let me just put this out here now. God is the source of everything that I do. If it was not for his gifts, I would not be able to so effectively do the work that I do. So that answers that question, hopefully. And for those of you who will be saying, oh, but you no longer go to the traditional church that you used to. I know I don't, because I no longer practice traditional religion. I now walk in universal spirituality. So everything I do through the guidance and the assistance of the universe. So yes, I'm not for everybody. And for those of you who think you want to separate your relationship with me, it's okay, because you know what? It took me 62 years of dishonoring who I was truly called to be. And I'm no longer going back in the closet. And that's the reason I want to spend time in this conversation to discuss my entire, uh, as much of my journey as time will allow me to do on this broadcast. My first experience of intuitiveness happened when I was 12 years old. 12 years old. That was my first experience. Little did I know at 12 years old that a year and a half later, I would be losing my mother. My mother died when I was 13 and a half years old. So for my entire life, I knew that I was different. I know I was not like all the other children in Painstown. I know I was not like all the other people at Carmel Church, which is the Moravian church I grew up in. I just know I was different. But that was one secret I kept close to my vest. I never told anybody in the church. I never mentioned it for all the many years I went to Carmel Church. I never mentioned about my intuitive gifting. My aunties, 5 of my aunties know, my mother's, 4 of my mother's sisters knew. And we never had a conversation about it. It wasn't until 2 years ago I was talking to one of my cousins, one of my aunt's daughters, and I was mentioning to her about it, and she said, "Cuz, oh, you don't have to tell me. I already know." I said, "How you know?" She said, "Because for your entire life, any conversation anybody would have with you is always deep." She says, "You never had normal conversation. And I always knew that you had the gift," she said. So, going back to my journey. So, I spent all of my early years in the Moravian church. Moravian is a English religion. You can research it and you'll find the history. I'm not going into that now. However, after I moved to Montego Bay and began going to nursing school, that was my first encounter with Unity, UNITY, which is another church. I don't know if anybody here knows what Unity is. It's a denomination. And I began visiting Unity on some days, and I found another local Moravian church of Irving Moravian Church. and I was going to the Moravian church on Sundays, and I was going to Unity during the week when they had their services different times. That was my first experience with meditation. And I realized that meditation was different from prayer. So I still did not mention to anybody at Unity or anything about my intuitiveness. However, even during those years of me hiding my gift of intuitiveness to the public, in my life, I was utilizing every aspect of that, because everything I did in my personal life was guided and directed by my intuitive gifting. I would know everything that was going to happen. I could tell children, I would tell people, and they would be looking at me and they think that, oh, her conversation is different, but everything she tells us is happening. I never put a label on it. I never talked about it in the church because it was not the popular thing to do. It was not the religious thing to do. I would just meet people, and people would spill their guts to me. They seen me for the first time, and they would just be telling me their darkest secrets. And we would be interacting, and I would be telling them what the Spirit told me. And they would leave and go their merry way. And when I was blessed to see them again, they would say, oh, you know, the other day you said such and such and such and such. And this is the result of what happened. I would smile, and that's it. I never ever disclosed that it was a gift that I had. When I went to my nursing exam, I was intuitively guided. I'm talking about back in the 70s when I graduated nursing school. I was intuitively guided through that test. Even when I was working in the hospital, I would have lengthy conversations with my patients in order to connect with them. My co-workers always reprimand me about the length of time I'm spending with the patients. I have to be talking with everybody instead of just giving them the medicine and move on to something else. They want to know, Clarke-Hudson, why you have to talk to everybody. And I didn't know why. I did not know why. Or, although I knew why, I never disclosed it to them. I met Dr. Miles Monroe, rest his soul, and I was sharing with Dr. Miles at a conference we were at in Cleveland, Ohio. And I was saying to Dr. Miles the turmoil that I was experiencing inside. And he smiled and he said to me, "My sister, that is happening because you're not honoring your purpose and your calling." Those words were new to me. I have never, ever heard those words before. I said, "Dr. Miles, what do you mean?" He explained that we are all born for a purpose in life. And whenever we are not honoring, we get that feeling inside. He said, "My first book is called In Pursuit of Purpose. And if there's only one book that you can buy, when I begin to sell my books at the end of the conference, I want you to buy In Pursuit of Purpose." I was the first on the line to buy that little book. It's a thin book. I bought that little book. I delve into it and I understand. He's correct. I'm born for a purpose. I begin to weave together the entire experience over my life. However, I was still hiding it. I was still in the closet. I was still in the closet. I was getting visions and dreams. People I know in France, I got vision that they were going to die in an airplane, the entire family. When I eventually got the news, it was not new to me because I had the vision already before the accident happened. I was still going to Bright Clouds. Is a non-denominational church in Connecticut, which later changed their name to Faith Church. I was still very active in there, in the drama, in the choir, in the greeters, in the armor bearer. I was in every aspect of the church. In the church, only two people knew about my gifting: Blanche Taylor and Patricia Cook. I remember I used to, when my car transmission died, I was riding with another sister to church, and we were having conversation. And the conversation I was having with her when we went to church, it's the same thing Pastor Frank was preaching about. And she said to me one day when we were driving back one Sunday, she said, I didn't know you were talking with Pastor Frank during the week. I said, no, I'm not. She said, but what we were talking about going down to church this morning, it's the same thing Pastor Frank preached about. I just laugh. I say, I know. I never told her about my intuitive gifting. I hid it all along. With the exception of my sister friend Branch Taylor. With the exception of her, she would call me when she needed insight. We would pray together for people's healing. We went to the healing school together. And God bless her soul, she had never judged me. She never labeled me. She just knew that I was blessed with that gifting and she could tap into it and utilize it together. I was still in the closet. I was still in the closet. In the summer of 2013, I got very ill with a small intestines obstruction. I was admitted in the Danbury Hospital in Connecticut. I had the small intestines obstruction in the middle of the night. I was awoken. I felt my body shaking. I opened my eyes. I look around. I didn't see no nurse. I didn't see anybody. I dozed back off and the Spirit said, when you get out of these walls, you honor 100% of who you were called to be. You weren't called to be ordinary. You need to fully honor who you are. I came out and I pulled the curtain back a little bit. I pulled the curtain back. Still afraid to come out. Those of you who was reading the comments, you see somebody just wrote that what I'm talking about is witchcraft. You all saw that. And that's what I have to go through with folks. And I pulled the curtain back a little bit. The door for the closet was slightly ajar, but I was still in the closet. Still in the closet. And one day, I woke up. I felt so lethargic, no energy to do anything. I was sitting on the side of my bed, like this, just trying to muster up some energy to get up to do my daily task. And I heard these words in my spirit: get that monkey off your back. Get that monkey off your back. I got up, a surge went through me. I grabbed not this tablet, but I grabbed my iPod and I typed Back in those days, I was on Periscope a lot. I type on my Periscope. Periscope is a platform that we used to go live on. I type in there to do a live broadcast. Get that monkey off your back. And the minute I typed that, I was not feeling lethargic anymore. I felt the energy. And I pushed the start button. And I began talking. I began talking. And the Spirit said, go outside. I was inside the house. The Spirit said, go outside. I felt, open the door. My eyes were closed, but I was still talking. I could feel my body moving across the lawn. And I could feel the tears running down my face as I was speaking about getting the monkey off your back. Then my eyes popped open. I looked on the screen of the iPod and I saw these words: thank you, thank you, thank you. My name is Sean. I am from Orlando, Florida. I have never watched you before. I came on Periscope this morning looking for something, and I saw you and I stopped and I listened. Thank you. The monkey on my back has been on my back for 5.5 years, Sean said. I have been addicted to methadone for 5.5 years. Thanks to what I heard you say this morning, you have encouraged me to go and get the help I want, and I will be checking in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When I read those words, I held my hands up. I dropped the iPad in the grass. I said, God, no longer will I doubt you. No longer will I continue running from what I am called for. I will continue to honor the gifts that you gave me. I will continue to work with your people. And again, I pulled that curtain back. I ajarred the door a little wider. I continued doing my TV show I was doing. And even my TV crew will tell you, I don't know how she does it. How does she talk 2 hours straight without a sip of water? Because I sit down the camera, they say live and the Spirit begins to flow. Whether I'm interviewing or I am teaching, the Spirit begins to flow. And I was always blessing my audience. So much so now that I've relocated. And Comcast wants me to still produce my show for the community. So, again, I might not be for everybody, but I want you to understand about what I do. There is not one dimension to what I do. So when you come into my space and you ask me, oh, Can you answer a question? Can you do that? Listen, I don't have the power to do anything. And when you consult with me and I go to the universe to get your answers, the universe is not separating one thing to give me to give you. Because you know what? When I consult with the universe to give you your answer, the universe give me the whole of your life, good, bad, and indifference. So I can't pick out if John love you or if John is going to marry you. The universe is giving me everything. The universe is showing me that because X happened to you when, that's why you can't have a good relationship. The universe is showing me everything. That's why I started consulting and doing readings on my live platform, and the universe shut me down. You know why? Because when I consulted with the universe, and yes, the universe is God for those of you who's trying to separate him, I would be filtering what I tell the people because I didn't want to embarrass them in public or bring shame to them. And the universe dealt with me. You don't have the authority to be making the decision. Don't block anybody, Sonia. Just leave them. Don't block them. Leave them. They need to hear this story. Just let them be. The universe dealt with me. You don't have the authority to be telling them something and leave something out. So you know what? In order for you to deliver to my people, only see them in private. Private appointments only. And when you see them in private, you can honor and deliver to them so they can get healed. So they can get their healing. There are many of you jumping from pillar to post, pillar to post, pillar to post, reader to reader, psychic to psychic, intuitive to intuitive, all over. You're taking plane, you're taking train, you're taking car, you're walking, you're begging drive, you're taking bus. All over the place. Because you are running from the truth. You are running from the truth. I am not here to apologize. Twice I went in the hospital again in 2019 with a stroke. The spirit told me the same thing again. Honor fully. I came out of that hospital. I ripped that door off that closet. I came out of that closet. I came out of that closet. I'm not hiding anymore. So when the universe said to me, your work in Connecticut is finished. Your work in Connecticut is finished. You got to go to a new place. There are people that's willing to step into what they were called to do, and they are waiting on you for the guidance. You have been holding people up. You got to take people by the hand. You got to guide them. It's time for you to go somewhere else. I would be lying if I told you it wasn't scary. It was scary. Still scary. But guess what? Because I know my life is not mine, because I know I'm called for something special, because I know I am different, I have to honor that call, and I have to do what I do. Let me tell you something. Each and every day I wake up. Each and every day I wake up. The universe keep peeling back the curtain, because sometimes I get antsy. I am accustomed to be busy and effective. But now I'm on this new path that I'm honoring. The universe is not going at my speed. The universe has its own speed. And sometimes, let me be vulnerable, there are times I get impatient. And those of you who were on my live one morning, you remember when the Spirit spoke to me, one of my moderators said, "What just happened? Your voice changed, your body changed, and you spoke differently." I said that was a message the Spirit gave me for me. For those of you who are supporting me, thank you for the love and for the support. I thank you. This is a path that is not easy, but I am telling you this morning, I'm not turning back. I am not turning back. I'm not apologizing for the work that I do. I'm fully honoring the work that I do. And now the Spirit is showing me how to label all of the services that I do. I now know that I have to just listen to the guidance. And regardless of whether you like it or not, I have to obey what the universe tells me. There are some of you on here who have been my clients and who have had my service, and you refer your friends and your customers and your family members to me. And you know the results that you get. I just want to thank each and every one of you. Again, those of you who want to consult with me, you can click on the link tree. My server is down, but I message my webmaster. But go ahead and text me, and I will send the link to you because now I'm using the Booksy platform. I will also be on Patreon, where you can access my materials, my podcast. I will be back producing my TV show. Those of you who want to work one-on-one, message me and let that happen. I tell you, when you are obedient, doors keep opening. I ordered a book the other day, and the person I heard spoke about the book. I thank the person for mentioning the book. And she said, you don't need that book because that's the work you already do. And little did I know how on point she is, because when I got the book and begin going through the pages, I realized that's the same work that I am doing. Now it is helping me to put a label so that the society will know what it is that I do. Again, I'm not for everyone, and that's all right. Those that I am for and who knows the value and who want to get out of the darkness and dungeon that they are in will reach out and connect. I am here to serve. I am here to help you untangle everything that is knotted up in your life. There are some of you that the universe showed me that we will be collaborating on things. And now Daphne is open fully to the universe. I'm not turning back. I am not disobeying. I'm not apologizing. I'm fully honoring all of who I'm called to be, because no longer do I want to deprive people. No longer will I deprive folks from walking in their calling. Yes, I do things differently. Yes, I don't use the modalities that others use. But yes, I go directly to the source, and unapologetically, I'm giving you all of the answers that I get. And as long as you do the work, you are going to get the result that you are deserving. So I just wanted to share a little bit about my journey with you and the path that I am on. And I want to just invite everyone to let's do the water therapy. Bless your water. Let your requests be known. I want you to promise yourself this morning that you will not linger, that you will honor who you're called to be. Don't be like me and put it off for 62 years. Don't do it, because you deserve better. Don't allow traditional religion to hold you back. Be bold. Be authentic. Be understanding about who you're called to be. We have work to do, and let us do this together. Let us do this work together. It's not going to be easy. Sometimes it's not even going to be convenient. But when you know that you're called for a purpose, you're going to do it. When you know you're called for a purpose, you're going to honor it. When you know you're called for a purpose, you are going to honor it. I want to thank each and every one of you for spending the time and for listening. I hope this conversation has pulled the curtain back so that you will begin to understand about what it is that I offer and the services that I offer. I just give thanks for all of my abilities and strength and giftings. And as I drink this water, I know that this will supercharge every aspect of who I am. This water will flush out every fear, any anxiety, or any disbelief that might be in any fiber of my being. I thank this water for uplifting all of my giftings. And so it is. Let's drink. So it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Jennifer. Good morning. I didn't even see you here. I didn't have my glasses on. So thank you, guys. Subscribe to all of my channel. I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. And just keep in touch. Thank you, guys.